Aloha y bienvenidos to the Tiki Talk Show with Dean and Niri Martini. I'm Dean Martini.
And I'm Niri Martini, and we're coming to you straight from the Manukai Tiki Room.
In a follow-up episode to Dallas Tiki Week, we're going behind the scenes of the legend who started it all, Don the Beachcomber.
That's right, we talked to the directors of the Donn of Tiki movie, Maxwell and Alex Lamb, at their movie premiere in Dallas, Texas.
We talked about their incredible film that explores the mystery, myth, and magic behind the world of Don the Beachcomber.
From his beginnings and travels in the Caribbean and around the world to his first bar, as well as his personal life, this documentary uncovers the man who turned rub and imagination into an empire.
So kick back, grab a Mai Tai, and let's find out how this amazing film brought the godfather of the Tiki culture to life.
You guys have this amazing documentary. How did it all start? What did it come about? The inspiration for this?
Oh, yes. Well, so Alex was kind of in the tiki scene a little bit before I was, but we had the idea to do a short piece in 2020 when everything was shut down. We weren't working a lot. Right. We thought we could get into one of the old tiki bars in LA where we live. So we talked to the folks at Tiki Tea. We connected with Marie King when she was at Tonga Hut in LA. And we thought we were doing a 10-minute film about tiki bars.
Yeah.
And then we started looking into the history of Don Beach, and the film just kind of snowballed and grew from there. Yeah. And it became this feature-length doc about Don Beach.
There was a lot of expectation about everything that was coming out. It might have been a slight delay on the premiere.
I think we were a little ambitious with our Kickstarter date that this is the first time either of us had done a feature-length film. And with all the animation and music and the edit and everything, we were probably our estimated date, and we never guaranteed this date. It was an estimated date. It was probably about a year and a half before it was actually done.
Yeah. Not for a lack of trying.
No, but I don't regret any of it. I think it came out the way we wanted it to come out, and I'm glad we took the time to do it the way that we did it, because I think it is the story we wanted to tell, and it's the way we wanted to tell it.
To be able to get the animation in there to substitute for Don Beach, who's no longer here with us.
Yeah.
That was pure genius. How that came about.
Thanks. Yeah, we knew, we really wanted Don to be present in this film, and we had this great audio, but we didn't want to show a shot of an old tape player spinning in a dark room for 10 minutes of the movie.
Which we actually did for our Kickstarter
we did that
video.
for the,
we showed
the Kickstarter teaser.
And we were like, we can't do this for the movie.
Yeah,
it's too, at this point, it's a very trite sort of it's been used in a million documentaries.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. We wanted to see Don. We wanted to see Don tell the stories, because Max always says, once you hear his voice, he's so charismatic. You're like, we need to see this guy. He needs to be part of the film. We had already started on all this 2D animation, or the idea of this 2D animation, working with the studio in Colombia, Ventura Animation. So we knew that we didn't want to use 2D animation because it would be a little confusing for the audience, possibly. So we wanted to use stop motion. And Max, a lot of stop motion people from the toy commercial.
The toy business, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And then we, so Don is presented in the film as sitting in his original bar. And, it's this interview that he gave in 1986.
Yeah.
But
a couple years before he died.
It's presented in the film like we're asking him questions about his life, and he's just responding, just like all the other interview subjects in the film.
Right.
And the idea, we looked at, mid-century Rankin Bass stop motion as an inspiration, like the Rudolph Christmas special, that kind of stuff. And I think people associate that time period a lot with sort of the heyday of Tiki. So that was the thinking that went into it.
I think it works.
No, I think it worked really well, guys. So much so that you guys are receiving an award for this film.
Well, we're not receiving an award. We were nominated for an award.
Yeah, the film was nominated for a James Beard Media Award. in the documentary categories.
For the fact to be able to be nominated for an award.
It's a big deal. I mean, obviously, the James Beard Awards are really important in the food and beverage industry. And to have the film recognized feels great.
I think being nominated for it gives the movie a sense of legitimacy in terms of historical value and cultural value. A lot of people, I think, kind of pass over Tiki as sort of this lowbrow, unimportant thing. And I think that it respects Don for what he did in the beverage world, the restaurant world, and kind of just as a host.
Yeah, hospitality
Yeah.
in general. I mean, Don was such a major player. So I think for him to be recognized, for the film to be recognized for that, is a big deal.
Yeah. Also part of history too.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think for people who are not so familiar with Don's story, I think, the film gets into Prohibition. We cover
World
War II. We cover Don's involvement in the Hawaiian tourism boom. Yeah. And I think, he lived this really rich, layered life. And that, it gave us something to really dig into for the movie.
Yeah, and you guys turned this into, I saw the love story that came in there.
Yeah. So, I mean, Don, what we learned about Don making the film is he kind of had a series of loveless marriages, for no other word, and he does, kind of find his true love in the film, which was kind of a magical moment, I think, in discovering that and being able to present that on film.
Yeah, he was a complicated guy, and he had these complicated relationships. And there's people are really familiar with his contributions to the cocktail industry, and not so familiar with his personal life. So that was something we really wanted to flesh out in the movie.
Yeah.
And so what's this mean for you guys to be able to contribute to Tiki history, the Tiki culture, being able to add a production like this, which is, you guys have been going around to a lot of premieres in various cities, or I think you guys probably have had packed houses like this.
The Tiki community has been very gracious and welcoming to us, and that's been kind of a huge it's given us a lot of support throughout this whole thing. Like, this movie couldn't have been done without our Kickstarter backers, who were all excited for it to be made because they were into Tiki and they were into the history of this. And, having them show up and being able to present it and knowing that they're a part of it is really kind of a magical moment.
Yeah, and for us personally, we hope that this film, people will come to this as new people get into Tiki and they want to learn a little bit about the history and learn who Don Beach was. Maybe they'll watch this film in 5 years or 10 years.
Right.
For a filmmaker creating a piece like this, that's all you can hope for, is that people will continue to watch it. So if that happens, we've done our jobs.
And finally, what do you think about the Tiki revival?
It's sort of ironic that Don Beach, who really created Tiki as we know it today, he died in 1989. If he had lived another 10 years, he would have seen Tiki kind of come back from the brink of complete extinction, right? When he died in 89, there was almost no Tiki scene left at all.
Right.
And I don't think he would have even imagined what it's like today with this kind of resurgence.
Yeah. The fact that he, and I think that also goes back to this stop motion character being in the movie. Like, the fact that he's in this movie about his life, and I don't think he ever thought people would be making a movie about his life, because I don't think when he died, I don't think that was the message he was getting from the world. And unfortunately, he died as, kind of a poor man. Like, a lot of his businesses had kind of gone under, and he didn't get to see all of the success that what he created would eventually become.
Right. And kind of, guys,
what's next for us? Well, we've got a couple other projects that we're sort of kicking around, but we're going to be touring with the Donn of Tiki at least
for the end of the year. Yeah.
Maybe November. So that's keeping us pretty busy through the summer, and we're going to have new screening dates announced every couple of weeks for the next few months here. So
DonnofTiki.com.
Yeah.
DonnofTiki.com.
Don of
We
Tiki.
have
2 in.
the information.
Yeah.
2 N's in Don.
And then after that, we'll start the next project.
Yeah.
What a fun journey through Tiki history, and a huge mahalo to Max and Alex for bringing Don the Beachcomber's story to life.
If you haven't seen the Donn of Tiki yet, do yourself a favor and check it out.
And don't forget to like and subscribe for more Tiki adventures.
We'll see you next time on the Tiki Talk Show with Dean and Niri Martini. Mahalo!
Gracias.